facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hi everybody, it's your boy Beaton here, and this is Trash Can Tidbits, the weekly show where I, a pop culture loving raccoon, slings culture facts at you that you might not know whether you want to know or not. Last week I asked the question, which classic sitcom originated the term jumping the shark? The answer is Happy Days. The episode in question was the three-part episode opener of Season 5, Hollywood, where the Cunningham family joins the Fonz in Hollywood in pursuit of a potential movie career. The episode was notable for the debut of Scott Baio as Fonzie's cousin Chachi, who would become a memorable character in his own right. But the most notable thing that everyone remembers is Fonzie doing a seriously WTF moment where he water skis wearing his famous leather jacket and literally jumps over a shark. Yeah, that moment has been etched into the annals of TV history, for better or worse. TV shows since have used desperate gags like this to boost ratings, but it sometimes backfires. Today, when a show takes a sharp drop in quality that necessitates these kinds of gags, it's said to have jumped the shark. Now, with that addressed, let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that the setting for the movie The Suicide Squad takes place in is a very subtle reference to one of the original Batman movies? In the movie, the team is dropped into a South American country called Corto Maltese. Not only is that the name of an Italian comic book character, but writer Frank Miller created the location for the 1986 graphic novel The Dark Knight Returns. Furthermore, the location is mentioned in Tim Burton's 1989 Batman movie, as being part of photographer Vicky Vale's award-winning photo spread. Fact 2. Did you know that the Disney movie Bedknobs and Broomsticks had its intended original theatrical release severely shortened? When the film first opened, which was at Radio City Music Hall in New York, the theater also had its famous Christmas Spectacular, meaning that they'd do a Christmas show and then show a movie, but the movie could not be longer than 2 hours. Therefore, several important sequences and songs, such as the infamous A Step in the Right Direction, were taken out to fit the 2-hour film time slot. For many years, that edited cut was thought to be the only version in existence, until most of the cut footage was put back in with a restored version in 1998. Unfortunately, that version has never been released on Blu-ray, and not even the Disney Plus version contains the extended cut, which is pretty disappointing. Fact 3. Did you know that Beauty and the Beast was the first animated film to premiere at the New York Film Festival? The entire film was presented in a work-in-progress format, meaning about 70% of the movie was complete at the time. The rest of the animation included storyboards, pencil tests, and rough animation of the ballroom sequence. As this was the first animated film to be presented at a major film festival, there was a lot of concern about what the audience would think, as it consisted entirely of adults. Fortunately, the film was given an enthusiastic standing ovation, a great sign of things to come. Fact 4. Did you know that the first Crash Bandicoot game engine was given an interesting nickname during pre-production? Since this was a platforming game done in 3D, there were in fact no 3D platformers to take ideas from. Naughty Dog knew for sure that the main character was going to be an animal, so they took inspiration from the hottest animal game character there was at the time, Sonic the Hedgehog. They took the left to right side-scrolling view of that character and simply turned the camera on its rear so that it was facing behind the character and follows him in and out like a movie camera. They ended up calling the concept Sonic's Ass Game, which would eventually evolve into Crash Bandicoot. Fact 5. Did you know that almost every lead character on How I Met Your Mother had their own song, apart from one? Among the songs, Barney Stinson, Neil Patrick Harris, had a song called Nothing Suits Me Like a Suit, and Robin, Colby Smulders, had a few songs, among them Let's Go to the Mall, which was included in the game Just Dance 3. The only character that doesn't have a song is Lily, because actress Allison Hannigan doesn't like to sing. What is interesting to note is that Hannigan's previous series, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, had a memorable musical episode, Once More with Feeling. Her character, Willow, did sing a little, although she didn't have her own song, most likely at her own request. Fact 6. Did you know that Spider-Man was originally created to be a one-shot character? Stan Lee conceived of the character and hoped he would be a big hit with teenagers, but Lee's editor at Marvel Comics at the time, Martin Goodman, originally rejected him because he believed that people were afraid of spiders and that teenage superheroes wouldn't sell, despite the fact that the Fantastic Four featured a teenager in the form of the Human Torch. Lee and artist Steve Ditko decided to put Spider-Man's origin story in the final issue, the 15th to be exact, of a comic book called Amazing Fantasy, with the intention of it being a throwaway character. The issue debuted in August 1962 and was an enormous success. Goodman then came back to Stan Lee and immediately told him to make Spider-Man a series, and the rest is history. Fact 7. Did you know that the Disney film 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea was partially filmed in an area where another film adaptation of the same story was filmed? The underwater scenes were filmed in the Bahamas, known for its crystal clear waters. All of the period-made scuba gear that was featured in the movie was real. Coincidentally, some scenes were actually filmed in a part of the ocean where a previous film version of 20,000 Leagues was made, way back in 1916. I'm sure Walt Disney himself planned it that way, as he was a huge fan of the original story. Who knows? Fact 8. Did you know that the Sega game Shenmue contains not just references to other Sega games, but a nod to the original platform the game was being made for? In the main character Ryo Hazuki's home, you can look at the TV in the main room. Inside a cabinet next to it is a Sega Saturn. Now, Shenmue takes place in 1986, which was 8 years before the Saturn was released. The reason it's included as an Easter egg is because the game was originally in development for the Sega Saturn before that system eventually tanked. Fact 9. Did you know that the famous airport scene in the movie Casablanca was a not-so-simple, but ingenious case of movie magic? The movie was shot entirely at the Warner Brothers studio lot, including all the outdoor locations, such as the famous airport scene where Humphrey Bogart says goodbye to Ingrid Bergman. What appears to be an airplane in the background was really a cardboard cutout filmed in false perspective only a small distance away from the camera. To add to the effect, the filmmakers hired little people to play mechanics working on the plane. You successfully can't tell because they also remembered to add fog for a more mysterious effect. Once you realize how it's done, you can't believe it when you watch it. Fact 10. Did you know that NCIS star Mark Harmon once saved a young man from a burning car? In 1996, years before starring on his show, a man crashed his car in front of Harmon's home. The driver managed to get out but left his passenger behind, a teenage boy. Harmon rushed to the car with a sledgehammer, broke the window, and pulled him out. Both men suffered minor injuries. Harmon is known to be a skilled carpenter in his spare time, and his own real tools, including that very same sledgehammer, have appeared on NCIS in scenes where his character, Agent Gibbs, is working in his basement. And here's this week's trivia question. Now, the Game Boy is known for being one of Nintendo's most memorable systems, still ranking number 3 among the best-selling video game consoles of all time. It had quite an assortment of accessories released with it to enhance the experience, but the one I want to talk about is the Game Boy camera. At the time of its release, it was the smallest digital camera ever made. You could take all kinds of pixelated photos and play around with them and even print them out with the Game Boy printer. Fun times. The camera even made its way around the music industry, with one singer even using it to provide the cover for an album he released in 2000. My question to you is, which singer used a photo taken by a Game Boy camera for his album cover? And there we go for this week. I hope you like this list of trivia. You got any more pieces you want me to look at, or suggestions for future topics? Go ahead and leave a comment. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for future video notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.